This is Paul Bessire from PredictionMachine.com with our third and final video on the 2011 football season, in which we discuss the Play Analyzer tool, which is new for this year, but combines the information available in the Predictolator picks tables with the ability to modify lines and choose multiple games, as we've seen in the customizable Predictolator. To get to the Play Analyzer every week, go to the Predictolator and click on Play Analyzer. You'll see a page like this where we have options to change the data in which you can see. Ultimately, you're going to be able to see all of your pick information within one table, and that's based on the information that you have access to. Among the dates, you can see that the example dates that we've been looking at for college football in Week 6 and the NFL in Week 5 are available here for me to choose. I've also been playing around a little bit with the Week 1 picks for both college and football, so you can see those are there, but that doesn't have up-to-date information in it. So for the example purposes, we'll use this, and as a subscriber, you'll be able to select from any date today or in the future for which the picks have already been published. I'm going to decide to include NFL and college football picks in the same table, and against the spread and over-under plays all within one table. Most of you, when you get to the line section, unless you're running these games on Wednesday or you want to see exactly how our picks are published, most of you will want to decide to choose the current consensus lines. That means that instead of running the games at the original lines for which we published them, you can select the current consensus, which is the most common line among the 30 sports books that we evaluate, that it updates throughout the day. Including odds will allow you to ultimately change odds if you select yes, or to ignore and assume that all games are at the minus 110 that we generally assume for tracking purposes by clicking no. The plays section gives you the ability to look at plays, either all plays together as you would normally see them in the Predictolator picks table, or by the ways in which we typically track our information. Playable plays, anything that covers over about 53% of the time. Normal plays, which would be anything that covers the number about 57% or greater. 2 times and 3x, which correspond with those numbers within the key as well. The upset watch picks, which are seen with the binoculars, where the underdog is considered to be likely to win the game outright. And Paul's picks the top 3 against the spread plays on Sunday for the NFL, on Saturday for college football, the Monday Night Football play against the spread, and the best against the spread play from college football, whether during the week, whether that be Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. To show everything off here, we'll select all and include every play in there. Now, the normal play again is something in the range of 1 to 3% of your bankroll, never to exceed 5%. And again, for the default example purposes, we'll leave this at $50. This will allow you this will allow you to see on the page and within the table itself exactly how much and how specific or how much the specific wager amount should be on that one play if it is being made alone, rather than having to click over calc and look at all those games individually. Loading the data now brings every single play back from those tables. We've discussed the Arizona-Minnesota minus 3.5 game as the lock of the week previous in the NFL, but now you can start to see the over-unders and the college football games interspersed among those, and every single game is listed, including a corresponding play value, which correlates to that 103 that we showed in the play value calculator on the Predictolator picks page. Now, this is great in that it puts things together, but if you want to modify lines for your specific situation and book, you can do so by clicking Modify Lines, changing it maybe to that minus 6 we were discussing earlier, and changing any other lines that you see. Let's say the fans in Lubbock got really excited about Texas Tech playing at home, thinks that 13.5 point line favoring the Aggies is too much, and they've hammered that down to 10.5. And not only have they hammered that down to 10.5, but as the home team, as you can see noted here with their odds, the juice is weighted toward that side, maybe at minus 120, where it's plus 100 then for Texas A&M. After you modify those lines and any other lines that you want, you can replay every game at one time. It really only plays the games for which the lines have changed, and see that now Texas Tech is by far our strongest play at those odds with that line, and that the Arizona-Minnesota game has fallen significantly down to what would be just now considered a normal play and not one of our top few plays. It's just one way in which you can start to look at this information and get the most out of the play value analyzer. It's important to note at this point that this table and this application was created almost entirely due to feedback that we received from users. So now it's a good time for me to point out the customer support link in the upper right hand corner of every page. It's important for us, very important for us to listen to and respond to customer feedback. So if you ever have any comments, concerns, questions, or just want to let us know about an idea that you have, make sure to click the customer support link up in the upper right-hand corner and add a contact that we will respond to as quickly as we can. We typically get to that within the day, never more than 48 hours, and typically even less than 24 hours is our expectation for turnaround and customer support. The very last thing then that I will mention in concluding our football video series is that we will be adding a fourth video when the Trend Finder launches, when something we have information available to track. And that fourth video will discuss all of the items in the Data tab, which includes that Trend Finder that will be tracking all of our information starting from the season, Power Rankings, which now include team rankings that we referenced several times, especially in the Paul's Picks analysis, team and league schedules, which not only look forward, but we'll be able to track team performance historically, so you won't need to go anywhere else to see that information, not only straight up, but against the spread and on the over-under. And the Playoff Probabilities article, which is free to all for the NFL, will update weekly and explain how likely every team is to make it to the playoffs and to ultimately win the Super Bowl. So, again, I need to thank you for your interest in PredictionMachine.com. Thank you for those of you who provided the feedback that allowed for many of these upgrades. And if you have ideas as to make it better, don't forget to click on customer support and let us know. Thanks again.